This is week 3 of All the Light being in the States and learning his new career as a hunter. He is 4 years old, a Latvian warm blood, and about 16 one hands. We progressed this week into going cross country and up and down hills, which he had clearly never done before. So it was a challenge to get him to figure out how to trot up a hill and then walk down, but he managed to figure it out. We also took a road trip to Swan Lake. I wanted to see what he would be like off property, so I loaded him up and took him up there. They were set up for a schooling show for the weekend, and I didn't even have to lunch him. I just got right on, and we worked in the bridge ring. They had a small course set up. I didn't bring anybody with me to take video, but I did snag a friend of mine to just keep an eye on me, so in case anything happened, she would be able to call 911, but he was actually really good. We trotted this small course at first, and then he eventually was able to figure out how to canter all the jumps, so we put it together nicely a couple of times and then called it a day. So I wish I had video of it, but I didn't bring anyone with me, like I said, so that was it. But he had a great experience. I grazed him for about 20 minutes afterward. There was plenty to eat out there. He does really like to eat, so I think he enjoyed that very much. I feed strategy to all my horses that come over from Europe and mix it in with like 11 or 12% textured feed. It just gives me a really good baseline when I have a new horse and I'm not really sure what they've had to eat in the past. And after about 5 or 6 months, I might change it. But for the first time period, it's better to just go with what you know. So I use that mix in all of the horses that come over for the first time. I have some garlic left over from a horse that didn't like it, so I decided to try it, and it seems to keep the bugs a little bit off of him. I think it's too early to tell because I just started it, but he definitely does not like flies. I always add water to my feed before I give it to them because I'm a little worried about dehydration, but also it breaks down the pellets enough so that I don't have to worry too much about choking. And a mushy feed is probably better than a hard feed anyway. He is filling out slowly. He arrived very, very thin. And like I said, he was recently castrated. So that tends to take away some of the pudginess. But his belly is dropping. And he has a really good appetite. He hasn't had his teeth done yet, but that will come soon. But I kind of like how he looks. I think it's just going to get better and better. He's a really good drinker, almost finishing 2 buckets overnight. And I give him a gut supplement, some electrolytes, and cocoa soya at night to make sure that he, again, is hydrated. And I want that coat to stay as good as possible. As the testosterone leaves their system, it will dull, but the cocoa soya might help keep it shiny. I give him about 2 hours of turnout in the morning or in the evening, or both if I have time. He cannot yet go out overnight because he loses sight of the other horses when they go in the run-in shed, and I don't think it's a good idea to leave him out just yet. I can't give him a buddy because he was too recently gelded. So I have to stick around and do a bunch of chores outside and on the farm while I'm waiting for him to have his daily turnout. So I have to scrub water troughs, clean stalls. I do have a workshop, so I started refurbishing some furniture, so I might go up there. I can still hear him in the turnout if he starts to whinny or run. So sometimes I work on projects. This one is a piece that's drying. Today I really just wanted to get some feet on a flower box that kept falling over. So I grabbed a couple of boards and made it a little bit sturdier so it wouldn't collapse every time the wind blew. And now the flower box will stand up properly when I need it to. And I'm trying to make sure that all the jumps have flowers underneath of them, because I don't want any of the new horses to be afraid of decoration or, they don't have a lot of flowers in Europe, so they're used to jumping poles and nothing else. And I don't even think he saw that many jumps at all before he got here. So I'm trying to make sure that everything is properly decorated. And that seemed to help when I went to Swan Lake, because they had flowers on every jump, and he didn't seem to mind that. So that was good. There's nothing fancy in my ring. It's just a ring, and it has some jumps in it. I don't really think the horses care that my ring is not fancy, but I am planning on getting some more footing and some new jumps down the road. But for right now, I'm just recycling what I have and getting through the season until I can make some more changes in the ring. I've had it for as long as I've been working with horses, and it works for the purpose that I have. But when I got sick, I had to let it go for a couple of years, unable to maintain it. So it sort of grew a lot of grass in it, and the bushes got a little big, but that's okay. It's fine for now. It works. Next week, I'm kind of thinking that I'm going to work on a gymnastic. Now that Werner's cantering courses, I need to make sure his technique is good. So I'm really determined to introduce him to a one stride and include it in the 4 stride down the middle of the ring. And if he can do that well, then I'll have a better idea of what his front end is going to look like in the future, which is important as a hunter. So my plan is, after this horse show, he'll have all week off this week, and then after the horse show, I'll come back and start on the gymnastic, which I set up yesterday. And so there it is in the distance, that X to the vertical. That'll be his first introduction to one stride. And then we should be able to continue on and canter the X's in the ring if he's smart enough to figure it all out. So I hope that you like this, and I'll try to do some more videos similar. Thanks for watching.